Bryon Powell of iRunFar here with Dakota Jones on the beautiful streets of Silverton, Colorado. After the 2011 Hardrock 100, where, Dakota Jones placed second. How you doing, Dakota?
I'm doing very well, Bryon.
This is a dream you've had for a long time. How does it feel to finally have run the Hardrock 100?
It feels really good, definitely. From a athletic standpoint and from a, I guess, like you say, it's just a dream I've had for a long time. I've been looking forward to it for many reasons, and I got to experience it all, and it was really hard. I mean, it's harder than I expected, and I've been out there. I've done most of that course, and I knew what it was like, but putting it all together was a new experience for me. But kind of getting through all that was really amazing, really rewarding.
Yeah, you had some good quotes after the race, such as this seemed like a good idea 2 days ago. It seemed like it was a great personal challenge.
Yeah, there was a while there where I was marching along, and I was just appalled at myself for paying $250 to run that. And I remember I was psyched at the time I got to pay $250 for it, and I was like, what was I even thinking? That was terrible. It was a terrible idea. I didn't even want to run ever again. But now, of course, 24 hours later.
So how many times did you feel like dropping out?
Most of the race after Handy's Peak, which was at mile 35. I mean, that was a huge climb, 4,000 plus feet, and it goes up about 14,000 feet, and then you just keep moving, keep slogging along, and I felt terrible. I mean, I'd eaten a ton. I thought I was doing everything okay. I was just exhausted, and it hurt. Then I hooked up with my pacer, Troy Howard, at Ouray, and he got me eating, and I got to kind of be with a friend and talk to someone, just slog through it, I guess.
And through all that, you and Nick Clark had one hell of a battle all day long. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we were battling.
Well, you went back and forth, let's put it that way.
Yeah, I didn't really feel like much of a battle. I didn't have much of a fighting spirit at the time. I was just trying to get to the finish. But it was really cool to be out there with Nick. He's a good friend of mine, and to see him, especially considering what he did. He just ran Western States 2 weeks ago and placed third in his PR for him, and then comes out here and he just had an incredible race. I'm really happy for him, and it was really cool to see him out there and to get to share that with him. We were kind of together when it was getting dark and it was raining on us, and we were both feeling kind of bad, and so we just suffered together. It was fun.
Now, did you use the fact that Nick ran Western States as any motivation out there on the race course?
No, it just made me feel terrible. I was like, I feel bad, and Nick's with me right now. No. Nick's pretty amazing for doing that.
So what were some of the highlights while you were out there? Were there any good spots during the race where you sort of bounced back and you're like, this is sweet? Or
I definitely felt good at mile 7. Yeah, the top of the first climb, Little Giant, awesome. I felt awesome. It was a beautiful day. I was psyched there.
And you went downhill from there?
Well, you just kept moving. It was kind of just charging. I was just charging off into the unknown for most of the race, because it's my second 100. But so I was seeing what would happen, and I sort of fell apart. But I guess the high point, aside from that, would be, and aside from finishing, right? It's just this course is just so incredible. And I guess every high point, every physical high point, was pretty amazing, because you've surmounted a really big climb at every single one of the high points, and there's just incredible views all around. And we had fortunate with good weather for most of the first day, so we had the great views. The weather got bad the night and the second day, but this course is just incredible. I love being out here.
So this is only your second 100. You ran the Bear last year and blew up a little bit. Do you think you learned something? Did you have any lessons from the Bear that you applied here and that went better? Or?
Well, at the Bear, I was able to eat gels for the whole race, which I hadn't expected I'd be able to do. Mm-hmm. And so I went into this expecting to do the same thing, and it didn't work out the same way. At the start, I was trying to eat as much as possible, so I probably had 300 or 400 calories per hour for the first 6 or 7 hours of the race. And that gels really just don't taste great after a while. You get a lot of those things in you, and they're making me nauseous. So yeah, I started eating potatoes, those helped a lot because they weren't sweet. But really, I think one thing that I've learned from my hundreds is that just being on your feet and training for long periods of time is really helpful. Like, I wish I had done more 12, 15-hour runs where you're not moving fast, but if you're just out on your feet, climbing up, going down, you're just used to being on your feet for that long, and that's helpful. I'll probably do some runs like that before UTMB.
Speaking of which, you followed Julian around the course, and he was using trekking poles. You didn't use them, did you?
Was he really? No.
Was he not? Maybe.
No, I didn't use poles. I did not use poles.
No, he wasn't.
And the reason I chose not to was because, not because I don't think they're helpful. I did train with them some, and I think they're a huge benefit. But I don't like wearing a pack, and I didn't have a system for wearing a pack and taking the bladder out and filling it up and being efficient about that. I didn't have a system for breaking the Z poles down and like stowing them for downhills or whatever. I didn't have a system to be efficient, and I wasn't used to that whole system. So I chose to go with handhelds, which I've used in most of my races, and I like those.
Do you think you'll try to find a system before UTMB?
No, I don't. I think handhelds are just more efficient.
Gotcha. So, at any point during Hardrock, did you swear off UTMB or?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
What point did that come?
Man, like straight out of URA. I was like, it was harder to do Hardrock because I knew I'd have to go through that again in August for UTMB, and it was it was wild. There was this huge benefit to not have to tell myself, like I was going along just like thinking about what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm gonna cancel my trip to Europe. I'm not gonna do that. Not gonna run for a few months. Like, give myself a break. But it was funny. It's like telling myself that I didn't have to run UTMB. I didn't have to put myself through that again in 2 months. It made me feel better. I was like, I could leave it all here. Just one day, get it done, and then that's it. That's all I have to do.
So a day later,
now I'm psyched. Yeah. For UTMB.
What are your plans between now and UTMB?
Well, I'm gonna stay here in Silverton, work at the coffee shop, read some good books, eat some more ice cream for the next few days.
Recover a bit? Yeah,
recover, and then just get out and do some more running. This is the best time of the year to be here, I think, for running at least. So you get out, and there's so many good peaks out here, so many incredible runs, and like I say, just go out and try to spend 12 or 15, 18 hours out on my feet, get used to that.
So one thing I think I heard you talking about is you were sort of amazed at, you sort of said you blew up, but yet just by slogging forward, able to finish second. Like, was that a big surprise for you? That just being able to suffer?
Awful, and nobody caught me. And it blew me away. But that's just the way Hardrock is. It's so difficult, and it's so different from any other race that, you can blow up, and all you have to do is just keep moving forward. And in my case, moving forward is moving faster than the competition, except for Julian, which, it's just a testament to how difficult this race really is.
Do you think it's going to be like that at UTMB, or?
I think no. I hear that it's more of a running race.
Mm-hmm.
When you blow up in Hardrock, even though it's like the hardest race in the world, or some people say that, it's you can blow up and keep moving forward at a good pace because you're hiking, and that's what everyone does. If you're feeling good, you're hiking same pace almost as if you're blowing up. But at UTMB, you're running, and that's a lot more energy output. And so if you blow up, your pace slows down quite a bit.
Well, congratulations on your first Hardrock 100 finish, and
Thanks,
such a good one at that. And look forward to chatting with you in Chamonix in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yep.